All righty. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this conference call featuring the main and co-main event fighters from the PFL playoffs in Washington, D.C. We have welterweights Magomed Umalatov and Naaman Gracie, as well as the featherweight Brendan Loughnane and Kai Kamaka. We're going to start off with our co-main event, and that is, of course, our welterweight fighter Magomed Umalatov. We're still waiting for Naaman Gracie to join the call, but we can get started by opening up the floor to the media. If you have a question, please use the reaction tab to raise your hand, and Tawny will call on you.
All right, Gabriel, go ahead and kick us off, please.
Hello, Magomed. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, good to talk to you. So Magomed, how would you describe this moment being back in the semifinals after being forced to miss them last year?
I'm happy to be here, and for me it's third semifinal, and now I'm training, just trying to be safe, finally fight in semifinal.
We heard recently that Naaman would now be in the playoffs. When did they tell you that you were going to get a new opponent? How much time did you have to know to change your strategy?
Maybe 5 days ago, I get this news. My manager called me and said, we have a new opponent. But I was ready for that, because I have experience in Grand Prix, and all the time something happened, with the opponent. That's why I'm always ready for a new opponent.
And then, of course, the obvious question, how would you describe the differences preparing for Gracie with a little bit of time compared to Don Madge?
Different, just Don Madge was southpaw, and Gracie orthodox. Only that's different. But usually for all the fight, I'm preparing all my aspects, wrestling, striking. I'm ready always.
Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you.
Mike.
All right, you talked about your experience in these Grand Prix style, with the playoffs and the regular season. Having that experience, how has it helped you with this last minute opponent change? Because I'm sure there's something you've obviously experienced in the past, but how has your experience in these type of formats prepared you for this last minute opponent change?
Say again, please.
How has your experience in the Grand Prix style of tournaments and playoffs, how has that helped you prepare for having an opponent change just a few weeks before the fight?
Just how I told before, I was training in striking, wrestling. I'm complete fighter. I'm ready for every opponent. Doesn't matter if it will be a couple days before fight is going to give me a new opponent. I will be ready. I have no choice. I'm just training, keep training, and I have my goal. I have my dream. I want to get this belt, and doesn't matter who will be my opponent.
And I know you've been pretty set on showing that you're the best in the world. How do you stay focused on that and not worry about your opponent? Why are you more focused on just being the best version of yourself and not your opponent?
That's why I'm fighting here, That's why I'm fighting PFL, to be proof why I'm the best. And when I get opponent in my head, I always a winner, I never thinking like I can lose to this guy, I'm always confident.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ryan.
Hey, Magomed, just tell me a little bit about how you've been preparing at American Top Team now that you have the new opponent here.
I just changed my sparring partner a couple of days ago because Don Mike was southpaw. Only that's only this moment different, just he was southpaw. Name and Grace is orthodox, but I was ready for a new opponent because my manager told me if something happened with the Dome match, next opponent, your next opponent will be name and Gracie. That's why I was ready.
Do you feel like at American Top Team that you have a such a high level of grappling training there that you're pretty much prepared for anyone that anything throws at you?
Yeah, we have a very high level grappling, and last couple of years my grappling very improved. That's why I showed last fight. I showed. I want to try a long time ago for show my grappling, but I was use only my striking, and I was happy I finished my opponent last fight.
How has the schedule been for you with the PFL? You did compete regularly, especially early on in your career, but this is quite the pace that they put on for these shows. How has that been for your training and your ability to turn around quickly for your next competition?
It's difficult, when you just one fight, you came back to gym. Even I don't have time for enjoy, victory. I have focus for next fight. Keep diet, keep training, and usually I'm tired. My mental tired more. That's why for this year, actually I have more experience. Last couple years, I was always overtraining, too much training. Now I'm more safe, training more smart, safe, and I'm ready for semifinal.
Glad to hear that, Magomed. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Amanat.
Hi Magomed, I'm Tunis from Combat Talks UK. Of course, now you're facing Naaman Gracie. Do you feel like this is a tougher fight than Don Madge would have been for you?
More tougher?
Yeah, a
Yes.
tougher fight.
No, I don't think he's tougher because Domech has jiu-jitsu too, but he has more better striking than Naaman Gracie. And for me, it's same. I have planned how I can beat everybody.
Another person who's on the other side of the bracket, Shamil Musayev, he's got a lot of hype by the fans right now and the media. How do you feel about him as a future opponent, and do you think that the hype is warranted?
I think when it was first fight, I was thinking like 50-50. Now I say same. I think 50-50. I don't know who's gonna win, but now I just focus for semifinal and after we'll see.
Okay, no worries. Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. Carissa, did you have maybe a couple?
Sure, I'll ask some. All right, Magomed, at 16-0, you've been a division favorite every year that you've competed in the regular season, but why do you feel that this is the year that you can win it all given the competition?
Because last couple of years I know I could be champion, and this year too I'm confident I can be champion. For me, it's important just stay healthy, because always something happens. For me, important just stay healthy, and I'm sure I can win this on this belt. That's I'm gonna prove.
And Naaman Gracie got the win over Don Madge in Sioux Falls, but of course he did lose his first fight. So when you're looking back at him, what weaknesses do you see that you plan on targeting when you get in the smart cage with him?
He has only jiu-jitsu, and maybe he gonna try to take me down, but I can give him my leg, and I will play. I'm gonna knock him out. Just don't blink,
Does that mean you're going to come in swinging and try to get an early finish, even though we know we don't need points anymore?
Yeah, I know, but it's my problem. I was looking for finish. If I get chance, I'm gonna finish him.
All right. Good morning, gentlemen, or good afternoon, depending on what time you guys are in. Let me start with Brendan. How is this feeling after last season? You're now in the important part of the tournament again. Just how are you feeling?
Yeah, this is the business end of the tournament now. Feeling great. Another great camp. We've managed to stay healthy all year, and looking forward to it.
And then obviously you have a very tough veteran across from you, Brendan. What are your thoughts on Kai Kamaka's game and what he's bringing to the table in the playoffs?
Yeah, good fight. Comes from a good camp. Respect everybody over there. No bad words to say about him or his team. Looking forward to fighting him.
And then for Kai, the timing wasn't quite right for the last time Bellator had a featherweight tournament. Does the timing kind of feel like it's meant to be now with this chapter of your career in the PFL and the opportunity you have right now?
Yeah, I mean, the timing wasn't right for the last time. I was in the UFC, I think, at that time. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be facing Brendan. You know, if there's somebody you want to face in the PFL tournament in the featherweight division, it's him along the way. So I'm excited.
And what are your thoughts on Brendan's game and what he brings?
Shoot, he's fast, athletic. He's a student of the game, and he's been here for a while. Been a big name for a while. So, yeah, that's my thoughts.
Thank you and best of luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Ryan.
Hey guys, Kai, real quick, just curious, how has the team at Extreme Couture helped prepare you to be ready for these quick turnarounds that you've been having with the PFL?
Yeah, I mean the team right now has helped me a lot getting ready for this fight. There's a few guys in different weight classes that have been through this process. You got Sadabu, who's his locker is right next to mine. You got a couple of my featherweights that have done the tournament, and yeah, so I mean, but they only can give you so much, and I see where guys can where it can be rough on some guys the tournament, because I've seen Saudi was banged up all season. He barely had like a full camp with his hand. So I see where it can be rough on the body. Luckily, this fight is the healthiest I've been all camp, just from all season, just from little things. But luckily this is the healthiest I've been.
I know it's a little bit top secret, but can you just talk to me about the difference maker of the group there at Extreme Couture and kind of the level of competition that's helping you elevate your game?
I mean, that's just, we have a good group. We have a good group of smaller guys, featherweights and lightweights that get together a few times a week, and we all different sizes. You got Daniel Zell Hoover, you got a bunch of different guys. And I think it's good to have a good camaraderie of a bunch of us, about 20 of us, maybe a little bit less. But any given day, some guys can pile up. You got Marian Santos, who's preparing for a big fight too coming up with the UFC. And then yeah, you just got a big number of guys. So I mean, more guys, more minds, and more looks.
And I know your daughters are doing jujitsu now. What's been the number one lesson you've learned from watching them do jujitsu, and that maybe you're implementing into your game?
I got like 2 more coaches. They always questioning what I'm doing nowadays. But I mean, yeah, you just gotta be. They're always watching. So you end up having to teach. Having to teach at home a lot more. So it's been good. It's been fun experience the past, almost a year now.
Awesome. Thank you. And And Brendan, man, obviously you've put your time in at the PFL. You've been through this process. Where do you think your experience is playing into your game so far this season and how this fight's going to go?
I mean, yeah, 29-5 as a pro now. I've had more wins or equal wins than Kai's had fights. Do you know what I mean? I've been around this game a long time, and it's just like I feel like I don't think I could go back to normal fighting now. I call it normal fighting. I mean, like once, twice a year. I don't know how people do it. That bores me now. I feel like I'm a tournament fighter, and I feel like the key to this thing is staying healthy, and I finally got it right this season. Like Kai was saying, you get banged up along the way, but this season, for some reason, God's on my side, and I'm having another great camp. Not over yet, but another great camp so far.
And Brendan, what also led you to going and putting a lot of time out at Bangtown? What that experience has meant for you?
Been fantastic. Frank Hickman's a real close friend of mine. I've known them guys since 2012, since I started going to Thailand. I love it. I love everything about Thailand. But for this fight, I felt like it was important to come home, get around all my old training partners, get back to my family. I didn't see my family for 7 months. I was away training. So I felt like it was important to come home. It's summertime in England now, as you can see. Great time to be here. And yeah, I've had an amazing camp. I've been really enjoying this camp as well. And my coach from back home has been like, wow, you've made some serious improvements in the last 7 months since I last seen you. So it's all been good energy.
Glad to hear that. Wishing you both best of luck. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mike.
Hey guys, thanks very much for the time. Start with Brendan, 2 for you, Brendan. You said this is the business time for everything. What are the biggest differences, obviously, besides having to worry about points and everything, but what are the biggest differences as you prepare for the playoffs and compared to the regular season?
There isn't really a difference. It's just a fight. I never really take a look at points anyway. I never really cared about how many points I get in a fight. It was always just a fight to me anyway. Just luckily, I am a finisher. I have 16 knockouts on my record. I'm known for finishing people. So that's why the tournament's always suited me.
Coming into your last fight, I asked you against Justin Gonzalez what it would, being another a PFL champ again, what that would mean to you. You said, what kind of man would that make me? You're 2 wins away from that. You talked about all the sacrifices. Have you had time to reflect on just how much you've truly sacrificed through all your years here with the PFL and the rewards you've had?
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like a sacrifice anymore. It doesn't even feel like it. I feel like I'm enjoying this season. Like the weight's better than ever. I used to really stress about
Obviously, Brendan is frozen in the moment, so.
Kai, I'll jump in to you. When you and I spoke last, you said, your fight against Brendan is more important for you currently right now. What is it about Brendan Loughnane that means more to you coming into the playoffs?
I mean, like he said, he has the most experience. His name has a lot of notoriety for different reasons. His transition or to the PFL.
And knowing that schedule that you've had, I just have to ask, if you are able to go through it and win it all, what would that mean to you, given the reflection of all the sacrifices and everything that you've made throughout this year?
Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, every fight, the win in front of you is the most important, really. I mean, because that's the last thing that you're gonna remember. I mean, MMA is short-lived as far as the fans and the media, but a loss will stick with that fighter for a while until he gets his next one. So a win means more than anything.
Thank you.
Now that Brendan is back, do you continue that answer that you were giving about being stressed about your weight?
Yeah, sorry about that. That's the first time that's ever happened to me in the UK. It says your phone has overheated. like for the one day we get summers, like a bit of sun in Britain. So basically, in a nutshell, I'm enjoying the camp, and you know the weight just seems to keep falling in place. I remember the year that I lost to Pinedo, the weight cuts were just getting really hard, and the body weren't holding up as well. Had that 10 months off. I feel like coming back to this season refreshed and enjoying fighting again.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Brendan.
All right. Amana, bring us home. Bring us home.
I am Mona Junis from Combat Talks UK. I gotta first ask the question to Kai. Kai, you've worked with UFC, with Bellator, and now with PFL. How does the PFL board, like the back staff and everything, compare to the all the other companies that you worked with?
I mean, no knock any promotion. Just the UFC has a lot more back of house. I mean, I'm sure everybody can speak on that. But the PFL has been great. Bellator has been great. And yeah, I mean, certain parts feel different. I mean, PFL feels like it's a family. Bellator felt like it was a family. And yeah, it's been good transition to the PFL.
And Brendan, for you now, we've obviously seen you fight in America for a long time. UK fans want to see you back in England. When do you think that could happen? And have you been asking PFL if you could have a fight in England?
So do I, lad. I'm sick to death of flying to America for fighting. What have I had? 14 PFL fights, I think, and 13 of them have been in the States. But I don't mind jumping into enemy territory every now and then. I'm a bit of a road warrior.
Obviously, the Co-op Labs just opened. Do you think that you could sell that out in Manchester, hometown?
Well, I went there for the UFC the other day, and that is a nice new arena, and I would love for one day too.
One person who fought on that card, I talked about him with you last time. Magomed Umalatov. A lot has happened since then. What do you think about that situation with your teammate and friend?
You know, that is what it is. I mean, sad situation. 23 years old, just turned 24 on a 39 fight win streak. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not my business really. It's just a sad situation all around.
Good luck to both of you in the fight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just kidding. Mike Owens, bring us home.
Just one from each from me, please, lads. Brendan, I saw you took a trip to Ibiza last weekend with Leon Edwards, Mick Connor, and the Monterex boys. Did you get any training in on the White Islands?
No, so I got flew out there to do some media thing for a day. It was an in and out job. But I enjoyed it. It was good talking to Leon, seeing where he's at and stuff, and you know, just sponsorship stuff for media day really. But it was funny. I enjoyed it. It was a nice break away from the gym for a day.
And Kai, you mentioned PFL being one big family there. Have you sought any advice from your older cousin, Ray Cooper, on how to win a PFL tournament?
Yeah, I've gotten a bunch of advice from as much people as I could, honestly, in this process. I got to see a lot when I was traveling with Ray. But then, you know, you hear about like what Saudi said about dealing with injuries. You just you got to be able to manage that. And then, but luckily I wasn't as banged up as him. But I mean, then I had Lance Palmer in. So yeah, I've seen a bunch of guys that did the tournament throughout and that came to Extreme Couture.
Thanks, gents. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, Chris.
Nice one, Mikey.
All right, Chris. Back to you, sister.
All right. If there are no more questions, we will wrap this up because I know our guys got to get back to camp and training. But thank you again to all the media members who called in to join us today. Don't forget the second event of the PFL playoffs kickoffs next Friday, August 16th, PFL Hollywood with the lightweights and the light heavyweights. They'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus and 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Plus.